Hi there. So what I thought I'd do in this video is actually look at your section 1.2 notes and give you some calculator pointers. If you're good with the calculator, then that's fine. You may not need to watch this, but if you are a little more not as familiar with the calculator, then I'll show you the keys that you need to be pressing and how did I generate these graphs, how could you generate them for yourself, okay? So I'm going to pull up the TI-80, the calculator that I'm using is the TI-84 Plus Color Edition, but a regular TI-84, 84 Plus, 83, 83 Plus will work fine. So you will hit y equals, and this is the screen that you would see here. The first graph that I have in your notes there was x plus 1. A lot of times folks ask me, where's the x button? It's right beside the green alpha key. Okay, so there's your x plus 1. And then whenever you hit graph, and by the way, if you already had something in your y equals, just hit clear and just get it gone. What I will do for this first graph, I recommend you do as well, hit zoom 6. That puts you in a nice standard window, and that lets you see the graph itself. So there's your linear line. Okay, it's got a y-intercept up there at 1, and the slope, it goes up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Okay. So now if I go back to y equals and I wanted to graph the next function that I had in your notes, which was x squared plus 2, I'm just going to hit clear. That's going to clear this out. X squared, so x, you do have a squared button, so I mean you can raise it to a power, but you can just hit the little squared button there. And then we're going to type in plus 2. And then I'm going to hit graph. I won't need to do that zoom 6 because now it's already in a standard window. And so there's your parabola facing upward. The next one is a good one to show. So I'm going to go back to y equals, clear that out, and then I'm going to put in x cubed, so x raised to the third power. In my calculator, you notice how my cursor is staying up here in the exponent. I'm going to hit my right arrow key to get out of that exponent, x cubed, and then I'm going to put my minus x. Yeah, minus x. There we go. So just be sure you do that, because if you don't, it'll put everything up in the exponent. And then you hit graph, and so there's your graph there. Then the next one, y equals, I'm just going to hit clear. You have 1 over x plus 3. So when you have a fraction, a rational function, if you have more than one thing in the numerator or denominator, you need to be sure that you use parentheses. So you'll see me here, 1 divided by, and it was x plus 3 in the denominator, so I'm going to use parentheses x plus 3. Like so, and then I'll hit graph. And then there's, like I was talking about before, you have an imaginary asymptote line there. Calculator's not going to show it to you, but over here at -3 is a line that your graph is approaching but not touching. Okay. Then the next graph was asking you to do the square root function, so we'll go back to y equals, clear that out. How do you get x squared, or how do you get the square root function? You're going to hit second and then x squared, because you'll notice just above x squared is the square root. So when you hit the second button and then hit x squared, that pulls up your square root there, and we want to type in now x plus 4. And then just hit graph. And that gets you the graph that you see there in the notes. Then another one that's probably new to you, how do you graph an absolute value function? So I will go back to y equals, clear that out. Absolute value is somewhat hidden. You're gonna go to math. So math is right underneath your green alpha key. Use your right arrow key and arrow over to num. And the very first one is ABS. That's absolute value. Then hit enter. And so that automatically creates absolute value bars there for you. And then you type in x plus 4. If I go too fast or anything like that, then just pause the video, rewind it a little bit, and you can see my steps. Also, the steps are being generated down here at the bottom of the screen. And then I'm just going to use my right arrow key to get out of there, because if I ever had to add or subtract anything, then I could do that now, and that wouldn't be part of the absolute value part. And then you just hit graph. So there's an absolute value graph. Let's see if there's anything different. Let me do one more. Letter C of that last of example 9 had, I'll show it to you. Letter C of example 9 is a rational function. You have addition and subtraction. Addition up top, subtraction on the bottom. So when you'll see me put this in my calculator, I've got to use parentheses up top as well as on the bottom. So I'm going to just clear that out. Parentheses x plus 5 up top. Close it, divided by parentheses x minus 3. close it, and then hit graph. And there you go. And then you can see that imaginary asymptote line, this time at a positive 3. And let me think if there's anything else. I don't think so, not that I can think of. Actually, you know what, I'll look at example 10 just to give you that one last one. Clear that. In example 10, it is this function, 3 square root x plus 4 minus 5. So when I go to my calculator, I have 3 second x squared, that gives me my square root button, then I have x plus 4. You've got to use your right arrow key to get out of that square root so that then you can put your minus 5 on the outside of the function, okay? So just always be mindful of that. That's something, just a little bit of something usually folks have to get used to if they haven't used these calculators before. And I'll be honest, I have two 83 calculators, and my old calculator doesn't require me to even do that. So maybe your calculator doesn't require you to do it. So then you can hit graph. And there is the graph itself, okay? So hopefully that helps with a few little introductory calculator features here. By the way, one last thing, a lot of times folks will ask me, well, where's the fraction button? You don't need a fancy button for fraction. If you want to type in 2/3, you're going to type in 2 divided by 3, okay? You get the 0.667, okay? So you know, nothing fancy here for a fraction button. And if you, I think I pointed this out to you, if you want to raise it to like if I want to say 2 to the 3rd power, so I hit 2, then I hit this caret button here, just above the division key, and then it automatically puts me up in the exponent, 2 cubed, for example. I'm going to right arrow out of that so that it's, if I wanted to add more to it, it wouldn't be in the exponent. And of course, 2 cubed is 8. If you have requests about calculator keys, let me know. Send me an email so I'll know what you don't know, and then I can make you a quick video. Thanks a lot. Bye.